Hi folks, hope you're okay today. I just want to talk about foundations in the defense of your faith. Basically, the skeptic will have a foundation of irrationalism, and the theist will have a foundation of rationalism. So you have irrationalism and rationalism. And the foundations are basically the issue of creation. The Christian point of view, there is a Trinity, in that we were made in God's image, and God being Trinity is a rational being, and we're made in the image of God and we're rationality. So at the beginning of the universe, there was rationality. So therefore, we are part of that development of God's creation, and therefore that's why we're rational. The problem with the skeptic is if they don't believe there's a God, then nature created itself. It came from nothing. And so when there was nothing, that means there was irrationality. So what we have is irrationality as a foundation, and rationality built on an irrational foundation, which is a contradiction in terms. And so the failure of the skeptic is to explain how they get non-rationality to rationality. The evolutionary process doesn't answer that question, how we became rational, why we are rational, why we live in a rational universe. Because from a skeptical point of view, when there was nothing, something happened. And that nothing was irrational. So how can the irrational produce the rational? They try to get out of it by string theory and all the rest of it, but then they've got a problem, because then they have to really they have to accept that there's only two options: either matter's eternal. If matter's eternal, then it means that within itself it has the ability to create rationality. But matter is not rational. So how does matter become rational? You're still left with the same problem. And also the intelligence that we see within nature, it doesn't explain how eternal matter could actually create itself in the complexity that we see. So the issue there, there's still some big philosophical problems. The only option is to believe what we already know about science, that was a beginning to the universe, and then recognize that if you're a skeptic, your option is to give up your skepticism, because that which is irrational, i.e. nothing, became something which is us rational. That is irrational position to take. So you have to give up your skepticism and recognize that something rational created that which was rational, and therefore you're only left with one option, that is God. That's why Antony Flew, as an atheist, moved away from his atheism to deism, because he began to see the flaws in his skepticism, but he didn't move fully over to theism. So please leave your comments and let me know what you think. But the foundation, the intellectual foundations, is where the issue is. If you haven't got a good foundation, everything else that you're saying is just not going to get you anywhere.